Well, welcome everyone to Lunch with Link on this wonderful day. It is March 1st, 2023. And if this is your first time joining Lunch with Link, it is a wonderful program that is hosted by LINC, a Center for Independent Living in Southwest Idaho. It happens bi-weekly, and our guests on Lunch with Link join us every Wednesday to share some fun conversation around lunch, what access and independent living means to them, and also share resources and information that might help us in living the life of our choosing in our Idaho communities. And I am over the moon to welcome Spencer Larimore, who I actually knew before I tried to introduce myself to him, just because of his work in advocacy here in Boise. So we're very excited to talk about Spencer. And if you've noticed, the scene in this Lunch with Link is a little bit different. And so we're going to talk to Spencer about that in just a second. Thanks for joining us, Spencer. It's good to have you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
oh, you're okay. I've got this really long speech, so I try to talk really fast because people who watch the show a lot hear it. So I try to spice it up. I'll get right back to our awesome guest here, guys. But I do want to have one quick programming note. We want you to know that Lunch with Link is filmed live and covers a wide range of topics. And today we're live in 4 different locations, where Jen is in the Boise office, Leanne is at her home office, Fran is wherever Fran is when she does our interpreting, and our guest is at the City of Boise Rec Center, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So Jen and I are going to talk really loud so that Spencer can hear us in that really cool gym, and we ask that all of our viewers listen responsibly and also are aware that Lunch with Link is filmed live, and it represents a number of great resources in our community. So we're excited to have you here, Spencer. And if you want, just go over, if you're not a Facebook fan, you might be watching us on YouTube or any other of the socials, right, Jen?
We're working on it. Absolutely.
Yes. And guys, Jen's the producer, and she's been the producer of Lunch with Link since the beginning, but she's also been your friendly co-host when I'm out. And so Jen's going to join us today because, I mean, it's Spencer. It's Spencer, Jen.
I know. This is exciting.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to watch this later than March 1st at noonish, then you can see it on YouTube, you can see it on Facebook, or you can reach out to someone at any Center for Independent Living here in Idaho, and I bet they'll be able to tell you how to get it. So Spencer, thank you, sir, for joining us. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm down here at the Fort Boise Community Center getting ready for rugby practice. We practice Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesday practices from noon to 2:30. I'm down here getting ready. I'm putting on my gear. I've got a sleeve to throw on. I already ate my lunch, so I'm eating tape and gear. I use my mouth for all that. So it's kind of like having lunch, I guess. So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting on my my sleeves. These protect my arms when I push. So I got to use my mouth. It's falling on just because my fingers, I'm quadriplegic, so my fingers don't totally work. So I pull the sleeves on, and these prevent burns. So like in my chair, when I stop, I use my arms all the time to stop. So these sleeves will protect my arms from like burns from the wheels and stuff like that. And then lots of athletic tape. So I'm gonna tape everything on so it doesn't come off, and so I have protection and don't get like skin irritation or burns on my arm. But
Spencer, that is the coolest introduction at Lunch with Link I think we've ever had. Thank you for walking us through that. For those of you who are watching this show, we were actually getting ready in our pre-show. So we get on with our guests 15 minutes before and, do all the things, the tech check. And we have our spiels. And Jen was talking about how cool an idea was for those sleeves. And so thanks for walking us through it, because it is a cool idea, but knowing how you do it is so interesting. And like, also it's so logical. I would not want those burns on my arm from that chair. That sounds terrible.
We have a lot of people come out and play with us that aren't disabled.
Yeah.
You know, they're able-bodied folks who just come out and play, and so a lot of times they've never even pushed a wheelchair, and they'll hop in and play this game. And you know, we warn them to put good gloves on and tape their hands, and you know, if they have long sleeve shirts or something like that, to wear that so they don't get burned. But you know, they'll come out and play it a time or two and quickly learn some of the things you need to do to protect yourself from the wheels and stuff. But yeah, and then I'm going to my gloves now, so I use like a mechanic's glove that has a lot of padding, and again, I have to use my mouth. We're eating lunch and I'm eating gear. So put these on. There's a lot more to. What's that?
Oh, I was gonna get all poetic on you, Stuart, because you know, I really love that we're talking about lunch and you're talking about eating gear. And the whole reason we talk about food is you have to nourish to flourish. And the whole reason that I am here is because I think play is a great way for us to learn and understand. And I love sports. So we've talked a lot about this, and you must educate people, like, because you're the founder of rugby or wheelchair rugby. What is that story? I know Jen and I have talked about it a little, but tell me more.
I started playing wheelchair rugby in Dallas, like in 2008, and I moved back to Boise in 2011 and started a team here. So through Boise Parks and Rec, we did like a big demo. We had a bunch of players from Salt Lake bring up a bunch of gear, and we had I don't know, about a dozen people from Boise come out and try it out, and you know, we proved to Boise Parks that we had a following that would come and show up. Doesn't really show like it would show it now. We don't have very many players nowadays, but at the time we had a dozen people come out. We did 2 days of rugby, and they put in a big grant for us and bought us a bunch of equipment, and you know, we were off and rolling. We started the Boise Bombers in the United States Wheelchair Rugby Association in 2012. So that was our first season, and it's 2023 now. So we're on our 10th season, and it's probably our first season where we may make it to nationals. We're going to semifinals in 2 weeks in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's going to be a big tournament. There's going to be 8 teams, and they're all the ranked teams. We have to battle and finish in the top 4 to advance to nationals in Chicago, and that'll be at the end of April if we make that. So it's pretty exciting times right now for our team.
So do you guys have like fan gear? Because I think like I can confirm for Jen, I'll follow up with Fran when she's not working. But a quick question, Spencer, do you guys have fan wear? Because I'm pretty sure you got some fangirls, and I really want to make sure that Boise Bombers get some cheer squads. So how can we help? Because I want to come to practice, all those things, but I also want to support what you're doing right now. That's awesome. How can we help?
Well, there's a couple ways we can help. Right now, we need players desperately. We need players and we need funding. So this year we're good on players for the rest of the year, but for the years to come, we desperately need new quadriplegic players for the sport. So if you know anybody that has disability in 3 of 4 limbs, actually anybody with a disability or anybody that just wants to play can come out and play. But for our competitive team, we need people that have disability in 3 or 4 limbs. But it's a really fun sport. You know, you can come down and play recreationally, or if you get really involved in it, you can join us and travel all over the nation with us next year. But for now, we'll take people just coming out to practice, or if you want to donate to help us, get to sectionals and nationals, we'll take donations too. We have a website, the Boise Bombers quadrugby.com. You can just look up Boise Bombers. It's going to pop up top of your Google search. And there's a donate page. You go there, you can donate. directly to us, or there's also I think it's Network for Good through Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a really good program in December. If you set up a donation, then it's a recurring donation. They'll match the second deposit up to $100, which is nice. So they'll match.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So wait, Spencer, I'm sorry. I don't want to stop you, but that sounds really cool because if someone has $5 and in the month of December, they go to this, and I can't remember what you said, but they donate the $5 to the Boise Bombers, you're telling me it's actually $10?
Yep.
If you've set it up as a recurring?
Yeah, that's what they did this year.
Cool, man.
Sweet. Definite. Well, and I think they have a little bit of swag on their website too. I was checking you guys out.
Spencer, are you holding out on us, man? Do you have swag on your website? And I just declared myself a Boise Bomber fangirl, and then you asked for money and you didn't tell me about your swag?
Well, we're low on swag right now.
Shoot.
For us to hold a really big inventory, we're such a small company like we are. It costs a lot to have a big inventory.
Of
So
course.
usually when I have a big order, I'll do a big shirt and t-shirt hoodie order. We'll do pre-orders and get other people, as many people as we can to pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll add, 5 or 6 to the popular sizes, and then we'll have a small inventory, but it's way too expensive to hold in.
Of course.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
So
we will
go ahead.
I said we'll promote the swag responsibly, but I
Yeah.
am going to make sure we're paying attention to when you get enough of those funds to get more so we can do that pre-order, because it's a great system, but it makes sense why you wouldn't have a lot when you're just trying to get to nationals. That's your priority, right?
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Spencer, what are you doing now?
Well, I'm gonna finish putting my gloves on. It takes forever. So I put on these gloves, and then I put on this red rubber. It gives me extra pushing power and stopping power, and it wears out this little pad of rubber instead of my gloves. The gloves are $25, so I don't want to wear out my gloves really fast. So yeah, you can see there's holes in some.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you, cameraman. That was an excellent job. Look at those holes.
Well,
I got my
because I don't
he's our equipment guy. He fixes all the flats. So in tournaments, we'll have 5 or 6, 7 flats during a game. So he's my fixes all the flats and any other little problems we have to share.
Sweet.
For the first 6 or 7 years, he was a referee, and so he reffed a lot of the games when we go to tournaments and stuff like that, and that helped out.
Hi. We met cameraman earlier because he's been helping us with the pre-show. That's rad, Spencer. We have, I don't know, some of our viewers might know her because they might be also engaged in human resources some way at LINC. But our human resource administrator, who's also named Leanne Sullivan, I think is very engaged in the volunteer circuit of wheelchair rugby as well, for very personal reasons to her. So it's nice to see the cameraman / gear man / flat mate, whatever that might be, is there helping us out. So great to see it. Jen, you were going to say something. I heard you were very excited.
So I love watching a lot of these wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby, sled hockey. These folks, they are not pansies. They are out there knocking heads, and it is so much fun to watch. I don't think you all have an appreciation. If you haven't seen it before, you really should, because there's a reason this equipment gets beat up. It's because they're using it. And I love it because it really flies in the face of, oh, you have a disability, so you're so fragile. And I hate that. Hate that. And so I
Right?
love that you guys are out there kicking butt.
Right? Yeah, it's that's one of the hard things about recruiting people for this too. Is a lot of people think it is a really rough and tough sport. I mean, you have to have a little bit of rough and tough attitude to be able to do it. But I mean, I recruited a 60-year-old woman from the YMCA that was a quadriplegic, and she came out. I mean, I recruit anybody I've seen in a wheelchair. I'll stop you and I'll tell you about the program here at Fort Boise, and I'll tell you about my team. And if you show up, I'm ecstatic, at the next practice when that person shows up. And if they keep coming back, it's even better. But this lady that came, Megan Zuzny, I met her at the Y, and she came out and played with us. And I really didn't expect her to show up, but she did. And the next time I saw her at the Y, she was like, that was the most amazing thing I've ever done. And like, she was like, I felt like dancing afterwards. She had so much fun. And she continued to come out for about 3 or 4 years. And she got to go to Paris and play with an all women's USA team. They combined, and they took her to Paris to play for like a 4-day tournament. And then they also got to go, tour Paris. I mean, how cool is that? I've never, I haven't got to leave the country yet for playing this sport, but I've had 2 of my players. I had one guy make the Olympic team, and he's been all over the world playing this sport. And then Megan, she squeaked into a Paris tournament, which was that's pretty amazing. So
Yeah,
there's no opportunity in this. I'm gonna put on a couple more of my pieces of gear, so we're gonna pull away so you can see a little bit more here.
Cool.
all right, Spencer, while you're doing that, I'm just going to give a little, I actually said before you joined, I've always wanted to be an ESPN announcer. I've really been channeling that today. So this is actually perfect. And so I'm going to just kind of walk everybody through because we are at 2:22. So we're going to be wrapping up here soon. I don't know if you're a regular viewer of the show, but there's actually like a cadence, and we're still on the, hi, Spencer, what you having for lunch today? So with that poetic structure that Lunch with LINC has been, which talk about food, talk about the issue, do a motivational speech, right? We really got all of that in these first 22 minutes of Lunch with LINC. And so I think right now, Spencer, I just want to tell our viewers, if you don't think you're a leader, or you think that sports is hard, or you're intimidated by disability in any way, Spencer is a great human to reach out to. You have advocated for what you want. You continue to share about the powerful impacts in a very genuine way. And you are teaching all of us that we can do hard things and we can show up, because you, sir, are incredible. So we're really glad you're an Idahoan, because it sounds like you've traveled America, but we'll get you in around the globe. Because what's after nationals, I think, is like a global or international in any sport. And so if it's not there, pretty sure you'll create it. And everyone, this has been the best Lunch with LINC since 2 weeks ago, where we had Stoltz on. So Spencer, you're awesome, sir. What were you just doing while I was kind of announcing?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna grab some of my other gear. I'm gonna put on some stickum, and I'm gonna do a little warm up. So I'm probably not gonna talk a whole bunch more, but Stu's gonna follow me, and you're gonna kind of see what we go through getting our practice. Okay, sound good?
That's great. That sounds great, Spencer. And how about this? Jen and I will kind of give an audio tour of what we think is going on, and then we'll wrap up the show in about 6 minutes. Sound good?
Sounds perfect. All right. So I'm gonna head down here, and I'm gonna put some of this stickum on. Nasty stickum.
Nasty Stickum. So we're in a gym, Jen. We're going down the court. ESPN announcer coming through, Nayland talking to Jen. And it looks like Spencer has cruised beyond the screen. So we can't. Oh, now there's Spencer back, Jen. Do you see him?
I do, and it looks like he is taking a drink or something. I hope that's not the Stickum.
No. No, so with us, we don't have a whole bunch of hand functions. So we use this
There's the Stickum, yay.
this stuff is nasty. It's like it's kind of like pine tar
Oh.
or resin, like handball resin. Pull back. It's pretty sticky.
It looks like something my dad used to use when he was repairing car engines.
Jen, I have so many questions about that. I'll ask later. Now Spencer looks like he's pulled the goop, which is now apparently Stickum, I think. We got it on our very expensive mechanic gloves. We're smashing it together.
Yeah, and so
Oh,
now
we have a freeze frame. Oh, we're still smashing.
So now I can pick up a ball pretty much right off the ground. It'll stick right to my hand. So I don't have to be able to grab it. Just,
Nice.
yeah, so stick it. And then the other thing, you see, it's all over all my gear. So this would normally look like metal, but it's got the grip on it, so it gives me a whole bunch more pushing it and stopping power. So we're doing a drill right now, a passing drill. So here's the goal line, half court. My teammate's gonna throw this in here. They're gonna catch it and then come back to the line. I'm gonna work right back into it and kind of show you one of our drills real quick. So yeah,
So Spencer is heading down the court, Jen. There's we got 3 other players. They're using their Stickum, which if you guys couldn't see, it's amazing. And it's what I wish I had when I was a goalkeeper at any age. The ball will stick to your hands permanently and you can like put your hand upside down. Gravity should make the ball go away, but it doesn't. And we are now seeing Spencer coming back after a few rounds.
one more time.
It's
and he says,
it's like they have the force.
It's, oh my gosh.
It's like magic.
The Stickum is the force. And now we know the secret to life.
You know me.
I do know you, Jen, and that is awesome. Okay, we got Spencer getting the ball. He caught it, and here he comes rolling back to the camera after everyone went around. Oh, we lost him again, maybe one more time. This drill looks like they're going in circles in their chairs and throwing the ball, which I'm sure has a name, to each other, catching it, and then rolling on. So it looks like they're really training on their cardio, on their ball skills, on their muscles, and just cruising around this basketball court in these really super cool chairs with the sleeves. Did I sum it up, Jen? What do you got to add?
Oh yeah. No, this is awesome. Here's
Spencer's back.
How much more time do we have?
We're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up.
You're wrapping up? Okay, so
Yep.
we're just gonna continue doing this and you can talk with it.
So Spencer, I do have one quick question.
Yeah.
Hey, when do you practice? Is it at noon or 12:30?
So we go from noon to 2:30 on Wednesday, and then on Saturday it's 1:15 to 3:45.
Okay, Wednesdays and Saturdays, we know their website. Jen will be posting some of this as our producer. Spencer, have a great practice, man. Tell all the players of the Boise Bombers practicing right now. Good luck. Let's get you to nationals. And thank you for letting us join your practice, sir. Have a good lunch.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yep,
Thank
see you later,
you.
sir. Hey, Jen, guess what? Spencer, bye. Hey, Jen, guess what Spencer's having for lunch?
What?
Deer.
I fell right into it.
You really did. So Jen, we're going to wrap up. We're going to see everybody in 2 weeks. But before we end, I am an achiever and we have talked about strengths on this show. So Jen, I got to know what you're having for lunch.
So our coworker brought in some cookies, and this is a sugar cookie type thing with maple icing and bacon bits.
Okay, this is the days when you have a home office that you wish you were at the actual office, because that looks amazing, Jen. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Right now, I'm enjoying a seltzer water, generic kind from whatever store I can find because it's my favorite. I'm gonna go grab something, but thank you for joining Lunch with LINC. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh, wait, I do know who the guest is on in 2 weeks because it's the 5th Wednesday of the month.
No, it's not. This is the first Wednesday.
Okay, well then I don't know who's on the 15th, but guess what? I do know what's happening. We're taking our show on the road, folks. Aren't we, Jen?
We are at the end of the month.
So the 31st viewers, regular viewers, we're going to be taking the show on the road. And that is what they call in the industry a teaser. So stay tuned, check our socials, check our website. We look forward to seeing some folks live if they're able and willing to join for some nutrition of independent living. Thank you guys for joining the show. Thank you, Fran, for always being our interpreter, even when we have other folks that don't look like you, because you are our coordinator. So at this time, everyone, live your best life, go do some activity, and we are going to say ciao for now. Thanks, everybody.